Hi, everyone. Welcome to Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. Tell me if you can hear me or not hear me. Sorry, I was a little bit late. My computer, everything was set up totally, and then it had to restart for some dumb reason. So anyway, I'm here. And if you're new, please say hello. Hi, everybody. Good to see you guys. It's been a while. I'm going to open this up so I can see who's here. So today we're going to do a little bit different. I'm going to go over some cases that we haven't been covering because right now we're kind of waiting on the Daybell case to get moving with Lori's sentencing and all that stuff. You can hear me okay, everybody? Is everything good? Okay. So good to see you, Marilyn, Lori, Day. Thank you for being here, mods, Ruby, and Carrie, and Funda Cruz. Hello, hello, hello. Okay. Checking you guys out, Marilyn and Gayla. Hello there. And oh, hi. Hi, Holly. How are you? And yes, if you can't stay the whole time and you want to watch on the replay, that'd be great. And if you are watching on the replay, thank you for watching. And please hit the like button no matter what, watching or not, so that this gets recommended to other people, yada, 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 the same thing. So I want to cover 3 cases today that we haven't, well, 2 of them we haven't talked about at all, really. And one of them is the Kohberger case. So the first one I was going to cover is Alexee. She is the 19-year-old. I don't know if you're familiar with the case. She is a 19-year-old woman who didn't tell anybody she was pregnant, says she didn't know she was pregnant, came into the ER in pain. Her mom was with her. She snuck away to the bathroom at one point, and she came back. Housekeeping found a dead baby in there, wrapped up, like totally wrapped up. Alexee says nothing was crying, called it a nothing, and she is being charged with murder. So I want to talk about that because that one hits a little bit close to home since I am a 21 years OB nurse. Like I told you before, I worked labor and delivery for 14 years at a really busy hospital, and I work currently as a high-risk OB case manager for an insurance company. And I want to tell you, I do not feel sorry for Alexee. Thank you, Gayla. I do not feel sorry for her one bit. Her lawyers got to do what they got to do, I guess, but this is insanity. I daily have 17-year-olds, which is kind of young, but I do, that I speak to and case manage that are pregnant, teenagers, and under 18, you're considered high-risk pregnancy. So I talk to 17-year-olds all the time, sometimes 15-year-olds, 16-year-olds. They're so much more mature than this girl. And oh, thank you, Phelan. My hair, I finally got it done the right way. I went to Ulta. Okay, off track, but I went to Ulta last year and I found a girl I really liked. And then I came back to the girl that used to do my hair. First of all, she's a lot less, she's cheaper, but then I feel like she screwed it up. So when I went to Idaho, I was like, I hated my hair. It was like, she did it wrong. Made it all weird. So then I went back to Ulta this time, like 2 weeks ago, and she did it right. She did it the way I like it. So I like it growing out with the highlights, and she did exactly what I wanted. Although she was better at curling it than me. Okay, off the topic of hair, but I appreciate that you noticed I invested in it. So thank you for noticing. Back to Alexee. Yes, Gayla, Ulta. I know one of my coworkers told me they have a salon in Ulta and they're great. And they both times that I've gone there. So the first girl I went to at Ulta, she moved to another salon. And the whole reason I went to Ulta was I want my points and I wanted it convenient because Ulta is very close to me. And then she moved like 20 minutes away. So I was like, So that's why I went back to my old girl. And then I went to Ulta again. And I'm very happy with the girl that I got now. So thanks. So anyway, back to Alexee. So I do this every day. I have had patients that show up pregnant and didn't know they were pregnant. Once we had one years ago when I was a newer nurse that showed up. She was in college. Her and her boyfriend showed up, and she had delivered it at home. And immediately they didn't want it. They gave it up for adoption. No, we don't want it. We didn't know we were pregnant. There was like, what? Really? You wrap your mind around this. So there are some really weird situations that happen. But Alexee, well, first of all, her lawyer is saying that they gave her a bunch of medication that made her confused or whatever. And I don't buy that for a second either. She said morphine and other drugs. We give morphine in labor. Those mommies still know they want their baby. They have their baby. They hug their baby, morphine or not. If they don't want an epidural, we do fentanyl or morphine. When I was working in inpatient, they may do something else now, but it's usually along the same lines. It's opioid. And then, so I've seen a lot of moms pregnant on morphine and fentanyl, and they still know their surroundings. They know what's happening. They know who they are. We do not overdose them. It's a very controlled dosage, pharmaceutical dosage. So whatever lawyer's saying about the drugs, I don't believe for a second. But one thing I do want to point out with her is if they did give her some morphine or fentanyl or whatever they gave her, it does cross the placenta, and the drug definitely could go to the baby. We don't like to give it when somebody's close to 8 centimeters because it doesn't have time to metabolize and get out of the baby's system. And those babies come out with little to no respiratory effort. They're very floppy. They're blue. They don't peak up. They don't cry. So we give Narcan if they come out like that. So if they're floppy and blue and not showing respiratory effort, we will give the baby Narcan. We always have it if mom had an opioid. Always put it in my pocket no matter what. I just don't, it's sad and it's horrible, but I believe she killed that baby. I don't believe that baby was stillborn. I believe the baby maybe came out a little floppy, maybe didn't take a breath right away because of the morphine, but a normal person would have still called for help. Oh, it's dead. Oh, well. Let me wash my hands and throw it in the trash. Like that, even if it was dead, my patients, I did so many stillborns. They cry. They hold their baby. They want footprints. They want to take pictures of it. They want to spend time with it, even if it's freaking dead. So Alexee's an idiot, in my opinion. And her mom is no better. Her mom is the biggest enabler of all times. How can no one know she was pregnant? Right. Exactly. So even if she thought it was dead, it was overkill what she did to wrap it up and seal the bag. And like nobody was going to find this baby. The trash man was just going to take it. So weird. Okay, so let's talk about her. Let me show you some videos of this whole mess. I got to open this up a little bit. I have all my stuff on another screen that we're going to talk about today, and hopefully I don't accidentally close something because that would not be a surprise if I did. Okay, and these stupid pop-up ads. So let me share my screen. And I do usually start my live streams on subscriber only mode now to avoid trolls and stuff. But I think the setting is you only have to be a subscriber for minutes, not hours or days to comment. All right, presenting, share screen. All right, first of all, Alexee 19 cheerleads with a huge baby bump in videos filmed just 3 weeks before she dumped her infant son in the hospital trash can and told cops along with her mother that they didn't know she was pregnant. She's charged with murdering her infant son in the hospital on January 27th. Her lawyer says she didn't know she was pregnant. Her mom claims the same, but videos show her struggling through cheerleading routines with round belly on January 6th. I mean, she's term. January 6th, she's 38 weeks, right? If her due date was literally January 27th, when you don't really always, most of the time, don't deliver on your due date, but let's just say that baby was full term. We know it was. And she was completely full term when she was cheerleading. If the baby was born on January 27th, full term. This baby's full term. So I've been pregnant 4 times and with babies that I delivered. And I knew I was pregnant. I know there's denial's huge, but I don't think this was a case of denial. I think this was a case of not being, I don't know what she was afraid of. Her mom? Because her mom seemed to be very enabling. So I don't know. Yes, I will definitely talk about the mom and how stubborn and nasty she was with law enforcement. Maybe a little sympathy for the daughter having to deal with the personality. Like that a little. Well, and that's probably her biggest problem is a mom that she couldn't go to, you know, a mom that was maybe overly strict, not willing to, but still. I definitely think her mom has a lot to do with this because did her mom literally ignore the fact that she was pregnant? The girl's tiny. She's not a big person. You can't avoid seeing this bump on her belly. Did the mom just be like, I see nothing. I know nothing. She's getting a little fat right in the middle. Nobody gets just fat in the middle as a teenager. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, video show team mom Alexee Trevizo cheerleading with an enormous baby bump just 3 weeks before she gave birth in secret and dumped her son in the trash can, despite her claim that no one, including her, knew she was pregnant. So here's the pictures of this pregnant belly. Side view. Dude, that's a baby bump if I've ever seen one. Here she is over here. Look. Let me play this.
Let customers pay how they want. Offer PayPal, Venmo, pay later options, and cards at checkout. Contact PayPal today.
Very, I don't know what she thinks she's sucking it in. I don't know. But it's pretty obvious to me. What about her friends? Like, look at all these other girls. They have waists. Very bump, baby bump. And it seems like she is trying to hide it as best she can, even though she is committed to doing this cheerleading. Thank God she's not the one up there. Well, it doesn't matter. The baby didn't live anyway, but sadly enough. Okay, so let me stop that. So yeah, obviously pregnant, right? Yeah, right. Veronica, Ray Charles can see that bump for sure. Yeah, that's a good one. It's true. But yeah, she's very obviously pregnant. Didn't friends say she had given the baby a name at school? Oh, I missed that. See, I didn't even know that part. This is the kind of info I need. Okay. So walking across the court at times, holding her pom-poms over her protruding belly and pulling her shirt down frequently. Just 21 days later, she was in the hospital crying as police told her she'd been caught trying to get rid of the son's body. Alexee went to the hospital with her mother, complaining of back pain. Pregnancy tests confirmed that she was not only expectant, but she was already in labor. A panicked Alexee took herself to the bathroom, locking the door once she got in there. Hospital surveillance camera footage shows her struggling to walk down the halls and clutching at her bottom. Yeah, I'm feeling a little pressure. Feel like I have to poop. Once inside the restroom, she delivered the baby boy, then placed him in the trash can, covering him with plastic bags, returned to the room where she was being examined. January 7th, there's mom. There's her. Insisted they did not know she was pregnant when the police confronted them about finding the infant's body in a trash can. I told you about this. The girl's mother warned. There is video we can see of this. There's her mugshot. All right. I'm going to play the video, okay? Let's see. I hope I have. Did I turn the audio off? I hope I did not do that. No, it's on. There we go.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth.
517-836-460.
Like in my mirror toilet bag. You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to us? Do you want to get in trouble for this now? You could get in trouble for
Mom,
this.
Mom, all right, just give it time, okay? Let me speak to the detectives whenever she's ready, okay? You ready for the second one? The second one is 512-401-333.
Conventional thinking delivers conventional results. At Allspring, we break away with purpose, harnessing data-driven insights and boundless curiosity. We dissect the market from every angle, helping to build portfolios that redefine what's possible. Because investing isn't one size fits all. Allspring, purposefully divergent.
Oh, sorry. So, wanted to bring this up here. We don't do enemas anymore when people go in and are in labor. We offer, if they want one, they can have one, but it doesn't matter. Like I'd rather that push all come out in one lump thing than all that runny crap coming out all over the place, because guess who gets to clean that up when they're pushing? Yeah, the labor nurse. So, yeah, we don't. It's really not even a thing. Not even a thing anymore, really. They have them. Some people want them, but it's very, very rare to do an enema before delivery, believe it or not. Isn't that weird? Yeah, because back in the day, they sure did that. I know when I had my first son, they offered it right off the bat. You want an enema? And I was like, okay. But most of the time, they don't do it anymore. So that's right. Okay. So that's right. That other cheerleader did that same thing, except they couldn't prove their baby breathed after that. Yeah. Cause there was quite a bit of time, right? So there was no real, but obviously this baby took a breath at some point, because they are charging her with, the asphyxiation, the smothering. And then, how come I lost all this? Hold on. When I lost, okay, back. Okay. Let me share again. So, I mean, birth is gross. I'm just saying it is when you're, and so me as a labor nurse, when they're pushing, everything that's in there comes out no matter what. So you can have an enema or not, but most of the time, no one does that. Not today. Yeah. So how old are your kids? I started at labor and delivery in 2002, and we really weren't offering them then. So, but I know when I had mine in 89, they were 89. Whew. Sounds like a million years ago. I had a baby in 1989. Holy crap. So let's see. Let me share this again so we can keep going. So the cleaner found the infant son soon afterwards. He was dead by the time she got to him. An autopsy later ruled that the boy died as the result of lack of oxygen, which police say was the result of Alexee suffocating him. Let me move this over because I'm looking. When police confronted Alexee, she admitted giving birth, but claimed the baby was stillborn. Nothing was crying. Nothing was crying. She wept. Her mother turned to her almost immediately and told her, I told you about this. She then referred to other cases of teenagers disposing their babies and how they go to jail. So clearly they've talked about this at some point, right? I mean, who would ever think that your kid would do this? So why did they talk about that? Why would that ever been a conversation if they didn't know she was? I don't know. That's just weird. Okay, let's watch this one. This is when she goes to the bathroom, I believe. The hospital footage. Okay, come on. Nothing's happening so far. Let's see if I can get to the point where we see actually something. Okay, here we go. (1:38 a.m.) Okay, there she, see? She's got pressure. She has to poop or she's holding her behind. That baby's head's right there when she's running in there. That's a I gotta push walk if I've ever seen one. So 1:39. And for our first time mom, for that baby to come out that fast, there's her mom, okay. Her mom's just at the door. She doesn't go in. Yeah, usually you have to push a little bit with your first baby. So she felt pressure for quite some time if she walked down there holding her behind and then delivering. I don't know. I mean, I've had plenty of patients that tell me it was their first baby, but you're like, when all of a sudden they can push baby out with one push. Like, nah, that muscle memory is there, right there. Definitely have muscle memory. Okay, we're at 1:44. Yeah, it seemed very fast for first time. We wouldn't be able to know, though, medical records or 1:41. Sorry, I got a piece of hair in my mouth. (1:41). Yeah, that Skylar, she went to trial, right? And they couldn't prove that she killed the baby and wasn't stillborn. Isn't that the one? Okay, 1:40, 1:46, 48, 49. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I pushed for 3 hours with my first baby, and I pushed for 2 pushes with my second, third, and fourth. So It definitely, and that happens all the time. Like when we have a first-time mom as a labor and delivery nurse, we start pushing with them before we ever call the doctor, because it could be anywhere from 20 minutes to 3 hours. When you have a mom coming in with she's already had babies, we're like, we're calling the doctor now. Don't push. Doctor comes in, they push, the baby comes out. So very interesting how fast she is. Okay, 142. I'm trying to get the feel for the time on this. It's not normal. I don't even know if it's possible. To be honest, I've been at thousands of births. I talk to my people all the time, and I'll be like, okay, how'd it go? How'd your birth go? And they're like, yeah, I only pushed for 10 minutes. That's awesome. That's great. 10 minutes is great for a first-time mom. That's crazy. But a lot of times they let them labor down now too. Like we will let somebody, we would these peanut balls, and they lay on their side with their leg, especially if they have an epidural, leg over the peanut ball, and it helps the pelvis open up, and you're letting the uterus do a lot of the work. But okay, Alexee, 143. So she's in there pushing for a little bit then. Or killing. We don't know how fast that baby came out when she went in there. She clearly had some cleanup to do. Yeah. Yeah, I was induced with my first, and I came in at 1 centimeter. I had him at 4:40 something p.m. I came in at 7 a.m. I went really fast with the labor, but I still pushed for 3 hours. So 3 of those hours were pushing. Get that kid out. Nothing, not even the twilight sleep or the stuff they gave back then. It's hot in here. Okay, Google, what's the temperature in the house?
It's currently 72 degrees.
Okay, Google, can you set the temperature to 70 degrees, please? I'm right in front of a window.
Got it. Setting the family room to 70 degrees.
Okay. Where is she? 44. Should I try to speed up a little bit here? I was trying to get a feel for the time, but let's see. I didn't have anything with my first because I wanted it, but there was a terrible anesthesiologist that took forever, didn't come out of the OR, gave me my epidural at 8 centimeters, and it never worked. And that was awful. I felt like my insides were going to explode. But my second, third, and fourth, I had a beautiful epidural. I'm like, can I have an epidural before anything hurts? Okay, come on, Lexi. I just wanted to get a feel for the timeline. Okay, we're at 145. $146. Okay, well, she was in there longer than I thought, to be honest. I mean, it's going on 8 minutes, right? And she was feeling pressure because she was holding her butt. So that baby was right there. But I don't know how long, like I said, I don't know how long it took for her to suffocate it or whatever she had to do, whatever she decided she had to do. Is that her mom back there again? Hold on, I missed that. Yeah, too bad she wasn't a screamer. But there's plenty of those. That's true. She must have been a quiet birther. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's what my mom had her last baby in 76. I don't know what they gave back then, but she kept talking about, oh, there goes her mom again. She kept talking about twilight sleep back then. It's her mom. Everything okay in there? If I was the nurse, I would have already been down there knocking on that door and going in this period of time. With as much pain as she's in, I would have been at that door already. It's way too long for whatever's happening. Right? Yeah, I would have knocked on that door, and if I'd be like, "You want help? You need help? What's going on? Are you okay?" I don't know if I would have opened it by now if she answered me, but at some point I would have gone in there. I would have unlocked that door from the outside and gone in. Because you can get big fat trouble, letting your patient go to the bathroom in all this pain and then they pass out in there or something, or they kill a baby in there, whatever. She was only in the ER. And they had already given her some pain meds. What do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah. She was checked in because that's her doctor's her lawyer is arguing that they gave her pain meds and that's why she killed the baby, because she didn't know what she was doing. If it's true what her lawyer said, the nurse. See, okay, number one, first of all, ERs should not be dealing with pregnant women because they don't know what they're doing. Number one, that if they knew she was pregnant and she had a baby bump and she's in all this pain, it's clear she's in labor. I would totally suspect that. But the ER should have had labor and delivery down there or brought her up at that point too. That's one thing that I would say that all the ERs I've worked at do is if you're pregnant and you're greater than 20 weeks, you go to labor and delivery. So if she's in the ER, not in labor and delivery, and they know she's pregnant and she knows she's having this kind of pain, that might be a problem. They already given pain meds. The nurses should not have let her go to the hall bathroom without checking. Well, yeah, and that's true, to be honest with you, Lori, if I gave somebody morphine or fentanyl or something, and they asked to go to the bathroom, I'd be like, okay, don't get up without me. I'll help you to the bathroom. Like, I want to make sure you get in there safely. Right. So that's a little weird. In my experience, as far as being a labor nurse. And the fact that they haven't checked on her yet, it's 1:52. She went in at what, 1:39? Oh, I agree with you 100%. They knew she was pregnant already. I believe they did a urine dip right when she got there, and it was positive. Does anybody know? Because I missed that exactly the timeline. Should the nurses have gone with her and don't lock the door? Possibly. But they didn't give her whatever dosage they gave her isn't a dose that's going to make her really super loopy or unable to walk. But I would have been, I just know I've never worked ER, so I don't know. They're a little bit different in the ER. They're a little bit like so busy and kind of jaded a little bit because they see so much that they don't have the same, like I picture me labor and delivery nurse in this scenario, right? I'm not an ER nurse. I never have been. So I don't know. But I do picture myself what I would have done. It doesn't mean that I'm right and they're wrong. I don't know. I mean, but 153. She's been in there quite some time. I think even if I was an ER nurse, I would have been knocking on that door by now. And who's that? Is that a doctor? Is this a doctor here in the lab coat, or is that a nurse? That keeps checking, but not going over there. I saw ER when I was a street officer. They're amazing to watch. Yeah, not my style. I don't like trauma. I don't do trauma. I would not work in an ER. But yeah, what they do is amazing. Right. And the ER, you're like stable, triage. They triage. Everything's triaging, right? This person's alive and well, we'll be back. This person over here is coding. We got to work on them. You know, this person just had a stroke. We got to get them ready to send them for a procedure, you know? So somebody like Lexee, talking, coherent, crying in pain. Again, it's just completely different style of nursing. But a lot of things happen too. People fall, they pass out in the bathrooms. And I remember the lawyer said something weird, like the lab pregnancy information came over the screen approximately half an hour before the baby was born. Does that mean they definitely saw it? Not necessarily, but when I'd send labs on my patient, again, we did triage, we did OB triage. So I was waiting for results to come back. Labor and delivery now has their own ER where I worked. It's a labor and delivery ER. You're pregnant, you go. You don't stop at the regular ER. And if you put labs in, they either call you if they're a red flag, like they're something to be completely concerned about, or they fax them back, or they're just show up in the computer. So if you're super duper busy and you're not like waiting on edge for them, maybe you wouldn't have seen them yet. Yeah, I don't know how long it took her to push the baby out, but I could say this could be her first baby. I for some reason I had in my head that she went in and out so fast. Maybe the video I saw initially was edited a lot. And again, I've been so freaking busy. That's why okay. There's somebody going to the bathroom. Oh, here she comes. They were going to go in, right? Looked like they had the key. Here she comes. Okay, who went in that bathroom? That guy. Walking like, yeah, everything's cool. Where's the placenta? She didn't deliver the placenta yet. I believe because I remember they had to take her to another hospital to deliver the placenta. She cut the cord somehow. Oh yeah, I still think it's pretty fast. And obviously she had to have some time to decide what to do with the baby. Now, okay, are they finding the baby at this point already at 1:57? She ripped the cord? Really? Must have been a flimsy cord. They're not very rippable. I've seen flimsy cords though, so it could have been a flimsy cord. If she wasn't getting good nutrition and stuff. Yeah, she did something to the cord. It makes sense. Really jagged and mangled. Yeah, so she did something. Break this thing. I don't know. I mean, they're rubbery. Have you ever cut a cord? They don't just, you take the scissors and you got to go choop, choop, choop. They're a little rubbery. Like they feel like you're cutting through a little rubber hose or something. They don't. I've cut a lot because we have to trim them. Like we'll let the dad cut them or the partner cut them. And then we take that baby to the warmer and then we clamp. And then you cut, so they put the one clamp on and then you cut above it. Yeah, they're not, they're a lot of times, you'll hand the scissors to the partner, the dad, and they're like, okay. And they're like, sometimes they spray blood out on you. You're like, okay, good. All right, we're good. Had blood in my eyeball from that procedure before. They said she was really bleeding, so she did something to herself. No, it's a bloody mess. Giving birth is blood like you're dying blood. There's so much blood most of the time. So that, I don't know. Maybe that was their first thought when they saw blood, that she did something to herself. But giving birth is a freaking bloody mess. It's just crazy how much blood you can get in a normal birth. They usually lose about 500 to 1,000 cc's in a birth. So, yep. And she was in the right place to surrender it too, right? So I'm just curious. This is very long. I guess we're not going to watch this whole thing. This is the whole... Let's see. Did they find out yet? Who are these people? What are they talking about? Or they didn't look in the trash. They just saw blood and called housekeeping, maybe? Yep, here comes housekeeping. Okay. So they went in, they saw blood. They thought something weird happened to her. They called housekeeping to come clean it up. And housekeeping's in there now. Housekeeping's going to find the baby because they're going to empty that trash. Yeah, she's going to find the baby. Well, there's X-ray. Just move X-ray person. I just want to see what... Just trying to get... I don't want to miss anything. Okay, wait a minute. Here's housekeeping. They find it yet? Poor baby. So sad. Okay, hold on. Let's see what happens here. It's 2:11 a.m. Do you know where your children are? More housekeeping. They had to have found it right now, right? That lady is frozen in time there. No, that's not her. She's in the hospital bed, I believe, or no? Yeah, I haven't seen this part either. So I don't know. Maybe they said, leave it. Hold on. And they're going to go get, now it's a crime scene, right? So housekeepers, they're probably calling the police. Is that the boy? No, who is that? That's security. Whatever. Her lawyer's a dumbass. Clearly, first of all, you can get pregnant on birth control. It happens all the time. And a boyfriend using protection means nothing to me. Obviously, she got pregnant. I mean, there's no questioning that. I don't care what kind of birth control she was on. Birth control fails a lot. Nothing is, there's no such thing as birth control unless you don't have intercourse. It's the only birth control that really works all the time. Yeah, I see. Her lawyer's really reaching to say crap like that. She said she never even had sex. Why would she be on birth control if she wasn't actively? I mean, you could, because some people have cramps and periods and this and that, and their moms put them on so they don't get pregnant. But you know how many pregnant people I talk to on a daily basis that were on birth control? A lot. And they're pregnant. So that holds no water with me as far as what the lawyer said on that one. See, that's what I mean. Like, they would have came in and called the NICU team if they thought they could resuscitate that baby. They would have came running down there. Yeah. Maybe. But it doesn't matter. She got pregnant and then she didn't go have a termination, which would have been more responsible than this crap, right? Although I have a feeling, I said this at work, I have a feeling, that with all the new laws in the certain states that don't provide terminations and like, it's not like I'm for it, but at the same time, I think we're going to see more of this. I don't know what New Mexico's laws are on terminations. Yeah, I'm not sure if they did either. That's why I'm trying to figure out what the heck's going on, because it seems like this is a lot of nothing for them to have already found the baby, right? Oh, look at that. Pull up for provide. I didn't know this could do this. Okay. Precise. What's here? See, that housekeeping, this is all their stuff, the mops and the cleaning supplies and everything. So she's going. Actually, doesn't seem like they found it yet, right? Yeah. I mean, what time did she come out? It's already been at least 15 minutes or so. Oh, yeah, I heard about that one too, Gayla, the other girl in New Mexico in the dumpster. I think we're going to see more of this, unfortunately. Would they move the baby or call someone to get the baby? They would probably call somebody. Yeah. So that may be what's going on, but the housekeeper's back in there, which is weird because you'd think that medical personnel would be in there waiting for the police to arrive, not put it all in the housekeepers. I don't think they know yet. They probably started with mopping the blood, cleaning the blood, wiping everything down, and whatever trash, throwing more things into the trash, right? And then at the end, I'm assuming picking up the trash to take it out and being like, holy crap, that's a little heavy, So probably I would guess that the last thing they do is take the trash out. So it may be. Yeah, that's what I think, Lori. I think the trash can would have been last. Yep. That's what I thought, Veronica. Yeah. Okay. There it is. No, that's not it. There it is. Yep. There it is. Trash came out. That has to be it. Oh, sheesh. That's the housekeeper. She's going to stand there while they go call somebody. Yeah, that was it. Here it comes. Look. They're going to call a code or are they going to call the police? I think the baby, he just picked up the whole trash can, took it that way. I mean, it's a crime scene now, right? So. Poor housekeeper. How sad. That had to be so traumatic for her. Can you imagine? When I saw Lexi come back, she went straight into the camera this way, right? She didn't go over there. That is bad to be so freaking horrible. She seemed to handle it really well. Let's see. So this is 2:32. So around 2:30 is when they figured it out. Just crazy. And she's freaking out a safe surrender place. Like, literally, you could have just been like, help me. I don't want this baby. What do I do? Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So, where'd you get the plastic bag? I mean, must have been one in the trash. Or like a personal belongings bag or something. All right, then we should go watch her be confronted about it. I think at this point, right? Let me just see if looks like there's anything. Obviously, I would think they're waiting for police to arrive at this point, right? Okay. Housekeeper's going to have to give a report to the police. Here they are. Is that security or police? Yeah, there's always new bags at the bottom of the trash can. I do that now too, ever since I worked in a hospital. Keep my new bags at the bottom. But would Lexi know to do that? Alexee? The murderess. All right. You just scroll because we're going to take forever if we watch this whole thing. The whole live stream. Oh, yeah. Here's the police officer. Over here. Hi, Kavita Diva. All right. So this is 2:59. So this is 3 a.m. Police are there. All right, so I'm going to go back to see her when they confronted her. Let's go back to that. Pause. Hold on, let's go back to that. 1 second. Okay, let me find where we were here. Okay, where's the video? My eyes watering. Where's the... Oh, here it is. Okay. You want to see this part? Thank you, Holly. Okay, let's watch this. After the ads, everybody has to pay their bills, I suppose.
Where did you put the baby at? Tell me the truth.
517-836-460.
Making 9 years for that. You put it in the bag?
Yes.
In what bag? Why did you say anything to
Trash
us?
bag.
Do you want to get in trouble for this now? You could get in trouble for this.
Mom, all right, just give it time, okay? We're going to speak to detectives whenever she's ready, okay? You ready for the second one? Second one is 512-401-333.
Okay. Hold on.
Breast cancer is now the most commonly diagnosed cancer worldwide. This got the team at work pro thinking. What if our pink line of DIY hand
these
could go
ads.
even farther?
I can't even make this stop. Stop! Ugh. Okay. Now it's doing the loopy loop. Hold on 1 second. This thing is doing like a weird, like frozen. Ah! I lost the whole thing. Shoot. Okay, hold on. I need to find it again. Okay. Back. Yeah, we were talking about this at work. We're all just like, that mom and that girl, both of them need to be put away. It's just ridiculous that this even happened. It's really hard to feel sorry for her. Okay, that's where she admitted it. That's where she walked to the bathroom. Where's I guess the one of them talking to her and the nurse and everything saying it was full term isn't on here, huh? I was looking for that one, but this one's only 37 seconds. Watch the full video. Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to figure this out. 1 second. Commercial. I don't know if this is going to be different or not. I clicked on watch the full video.
Healthcare system.
It might just be the.
Where did you put the baby?
No, that's the same one,
That
huh?
would be true.
Yeah,
It's
it's the same one. Okay. I wanted more info. There was one I saw initially that gave a lot more time of her and her mom talking and the nurse talking to her. You know what I mean? Ugh. Lost her again. You have to keep going back to that. I don't know why. It's just me. This is user technical difficulties by the user here. Okay. I'm looking to see. Read my last comment on abortion. Anytime in pregnancy, what is the difference of what Alexee did in full-term abortion? Well, I don't know. I don't know where there's full-term abortions allowed. I don't believe they're allowed in her state. All right, I'm trying to find, I guess that's not on here, unfortunately, but we can also watch her get arrested. Might as well move on. Well, we know she did it. We know she admitted it. We know she ran in the bathroom. We know she lied and said the baby was dead, but she may have thought it was dead, but it wasn't because of but she was in there long enough with it to wrap it up. So it probably did take some breath at some point in there. It may not have initially. Okay, hold on. I'm going to share this so you guys can see. Here's that. Oh, got this thing to open. We need audio. More commercials. Well, I don't want to get into a whole big abortion controversy conversation because it's it gives me a headache. But obviously there's a difference between getting a medical termination under doctor's care with consent and a reason, and you don't do elective late term abortions. I don't know where there would be an elective late term abortion. Maybe a baby with a fetal anomaly that isn't compatible with life, but I would have to look into the New Mexico actual laws. But if abortion's legal there, she should have got one before she decided to make her own murder scene. That's all. Okay. Now, where did that go?
That is his policy.
Okay, hold on. Ready?
That is his policy.
It's nothing personal. It really isn't. And we understand. But we have to do our jobs too. Okay?
I understand that. I understand that. That's Melanie. That's Devin's mom. She's good. She's okay.
We're not going to be rough with her or anything. We're just going to take her over there and book.
Please don't be rough with her, please.
Just bring her out. You can be with her the entire time. Okay?
You know where the public safety complex is? 3200 West Main?
You can follow us over there. I will take you there. You can follow me over there.
As soon as I release the criminal complaint to her, she can then give it to you there, okay?
When can I get, like, her bond? What?
That's set up by the judge. It's Magistrate Judge Chuck Foster. He should be doing it. If it's after 3, he'll be doing it in the morning. Go on the back? All right. Alright. What's your name?
Alexee.
Okay. What's the last 4 of your social?
She don't even know it.
Don't know it?
She doesn't know the last 4 of her social.
Date of birth?
Mom's pretty controlling, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you have to walk her all the way over there? Can you bring her car up here?
Yeah.
That's all.
I'll go get it. Alexee, are you okay with your mom getting your criminal complaint when we get to the detention center? It has your personal information on it.
Repeat that?
Are you okay with your mother getting the criminal complaint? It has your personal identifying information on it. Serial number, date of birth.
Yes.
Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay. I have to serve you first, then your mom can get it, okay?
I'll pull up the charges
He's gonna move
in a
his
minute.
unit around. No medications, anything you need to take while you're in there?
Yes, I know.
Okay.
She has still been like bleeding, so I don't know if she needs.
Do you have any? I don't know if they have tampons.
You can't wear tampons after you've had a baby, FYI.
Can she?
Need to wear pads.
Can she grab some of that real quick? Or?
Yes.
Do you mind if
Get your little bag.
one of us goes?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Personal pads.
Just pads. Yeah, she needs them.
Oh,
3200 West Main Street, Public Safety Complex. If you just go through the front door, you know where we first spoke in the records?
Yeah.
If you just go over there. Is there any four?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll meet her in the front.
Okay. I'll get with him and do all stuff. Go to dispatch.
Oh, I guess it was. This is like the tail end of that part.
We're tampering. I'll be headed your way shortly.
Get the handcuffs.
Relay the rest.
I'll be headed your way for the relay shortly. Yeah, I'll get.
All right. Oh, okay. Let me get rid of this. More ads. So yeah, we can pull up. I think somebody sent me the link. Did somebody send me the link to the actual legal charges somewhere? I think they're in there. We can look one more time. I'm taking long with this case. Sorry. I just find this one really interesting because of, what I do. How something like this could come across my world very easily. I thought that there was the affidavit here somewhere, but I don't see it on this. So I don't know. I mean, I guess we'll find out what happens. I don't know what the next court date or anything is. She's out on bond, right? As far as I know. That's the biggest. I don't know. I'm not going to waste any more time talking about that one because I don't want to. I mean, we have other stuff we wanted to go over today, but we can keep following that for sure. No, she is not a juvenile. She is a grown adult person that should know better, even though apparently her mother runs her life. Yeah. Yeah, it is. It's a crazy case. Yeah, so we'll keep following that. If anybody wants to help me find more details, that would be fabulous. That's part of the reason why I can't have all these live streams, because I don't have time to prepare all this stuff. So I've been really lucky. Some of my mods and members have been trying to find some info for me to bring you some of these cases, which would make me more able to be here more often and do this. It's the research that takes a lot of time. So that's where we're at. She's not a juvenile, but was still high school. She was released from jail on a $100,000 bond. Oh, yes. They let her go to prom and finish high school, right? And they do know who the dad was. Apparently, he went to prom with her after this whole arrest nonsense. I mean, I would be hiding under my covers if I were her. I wouldn't go to school. I'd be like, I'm not looking at my other my friends at school. Are you kidding me? All right. So now the other case I wanted to go over, and like I said, we can keep going over, like we can come back to Alexee again. But James Yablonski, and thank you so much, PLM. You did a fantastic job on putting this together for me to be able to go over this. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see. Close that. So, okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with James Yablonski, Yablonski. He's a missing 13-year-old. And he apparently left on his own accord at 13. So, but he's missing now. And we were kind of thrown around like, should law enforcement view a runaway situation different than a kidnapped child? Should they? Maybe, but these kids are 13, clearly not in the right mind to understand what being a grown up on your own is, right? And this is a boy who took the family van. They found it later, family van or truck. And he is supposedly living off the grid. That was his plan of action. So this takes place in Wisconsin, Baraboo, Wisconsin. It's a small town in the southwestern part of Wisconsin, like the Wisconsin Dells area. Population is 12,000. It's less than 4 miles from Devil's Lake State Park and the Baraboo Hills, a national natural landmark that the Nature Conservatory designated as one of the last great places. So this is where he supposedly took himself. Let me share this part. This is a Wikipedia on this place. So Devil's Lake. state park located in the Baraboo Range in eastern Sauk County, just south of Baraboo, Wisconsin. It's around 35 miles northwest of Madison and is on the western edge of the last ice sheet deposited during the Wisconsin glaciation. So it's quite large. Devil's Lake, which was created by a glacier depositing terminal morons, what's up, plugged into the north and south ends of the gap, the bluffs. So this is where supposedly he went to go live off the grid. Oh, thank you so much, Funda Cruz. Oops, I can't get my mouse. Come back, mouse. Thank you very much. Appreciate that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's super sticker. I agree with you. Is 13. I remember being 13. I don't think, I needed my parents for a heck of a lot of stuff, and making decisions was probably not the, there's a reason why we're still not considered adults till we're 18. And honesty, looking at Alexee, I don't know if she should be considered an adult yet, because her decision making. Okay, so let me go back. So what happened was on June 13th, 2023, so just really less than a month ago, James took the family van and abandoned it along State Highway 12 near an entrance to Devil's Lake State Park. He hasn't been seen since. It says there's 41 miles of hiking trails in Devil's Lake State Park. It's well known for safe rock climbing, but it has many steep, difficult hiking trails as well. Lots of potential for accidents. So he literally could go out there, fall over a cliff, and be hurt, even though he decided he was going to go live off the grid because kids are dumb. So he's 13. They say he has a pistol and 2 survival books with him. He mentioned that he was interested in living off the grid in the past. The family says more food is missing from the home than they thought. So some food was missing, and they realized more than they thought was missing. His cell phone is dead, found on the east side of Highway 12. Entrance to the park is west side. So that's a little weird, right? He's believed to be living in a Wisconsin state park, right? That's this park. And he's believed to be evading law enforcement. So law enforcement actually has found some campsites that they believe are his. So here, let me pull this one up. I can share this news thing. Let's look this.
If you are type 2 and take metformin, well, check your feet and legs for these 2 things that I'm going to show you in this video right.
Search efforts for 13-year-old James Yoblanski are shifting focus as the Sauk County Sheriff's Office believes the teen is alive and interested in testing his survival skills in the rural woods.
Well, they found a second campsite and multiple items since he reportedly left his home at the beginning of the week. Armand Rahman has more from Sauk County as they wrap up day 5 of the search.
Sauk County Sheriff's officials have been concentrating their search in Baraboo Bluffs in the area of Stones Pocket Road. And as you can see, the terrain is rough, rocky, and dense, proving very difficult for officers on the ground.
What we've kind of come up with is that he may be trying to avoid us to fulfill his desire to live off the grid.
James's friends, family, and peers have told investigators that might be exactly why he set out in the first place.
We've kind of put together a picture of somebody who has spoken again about this being something that he wanted to try.
After finding a second campsite near Baxter's Hollow with foliage freshly cut to make a rain guard, they believe James was prepared with food, some camping tools, access to water, and multiple survivalist books.
And some of that is what's leading us to believe that the structures that we're finding are probably left by James because they're built in a way that mirrors what was in that book.
Which is why they're scaling back the number of searchers they have on foot, especially after at least 2 officers have sustained injuries.
And that is not a decision that we have made or taken lightly.
Sky High Farm in Baraboo has offered crews 60 to 70 baked goods, coffee, and access to the bluffs. The manager there says he's hiked the area often.
It was interesting. I was talking to a pilot who flew in earlier, and we were talking about how easy it is to get disoriented. I mean, I even get disoriented sometimes.
But while dialing back, officials say they're not stopping their search for James Yablonski.
We feel like our added presence at this point could continue to just push him further and further away.
As search efforts continue, the Sauk County Sheriff's Office asks members of the public not to try searching for James on their own, rather give any information they may have to Sauk County Dispatch. In Sauk County, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
And along with Sky High Orchard, the Sauk County Sheriff's Office thanked multiple local businesses in the community for offering food, transportation, and veterinary care on scene for their canines.
If you are type 2 and take metformin, well, check your feet and legs.
Scaling back the search because he has survivalist books, maybe first, but that's just crazy. So that was right off the bat, though. That was June 16th. So now it's July 8th. What is today? The 8th? I don't know. I would be really upset if I was his parents, because obviously he's a child and he doesn't get to just be out running, the streets. So here's his father posted, and we can share this. This is on Facebook. Let me get over there. All right, on June 23rd. Let me share his father's Facebook. We'll be doing a search for James this Sunday, and any persons that want to help in the search, friends, family along, anyone, please meet me at Badger Ammunition in Baraboo, Wisconsin, Sunday at 10 a.m. We'll meet there first and go from there. We will be searching from Sky High Road South and Highway 12 East. Please, anyone that wants to come help, all are welcome. I will have 6 cases of water with me. And then that was back on June 23rd. People apparently are arguing. Someone says people need to quit arguing with each other. There's a 13-year-old boy missing. Everyone should know they are searching at their own risk. If you don't feel safe, don't go. If you're wondering or worried, if law enforcement knows or gives permission, go call them yourself. Put your energy into finding this boy or move along. It's not our job to figure out the story, what happened at this point. Something. Yeah, social media, blah, blah, blah. There's, can be annoying. Has the missing handgun been secured? Somebody's asking. No. Yeah, that is a good point. I hope this is being told to volunteers go looking for him. Hopefully he's not. Please announce if there will be another one after this. So that was the most recent, right? Update. His name is not on the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, which is weird, which is probably uncool. Here's somebody, William Lebowski. I've been looking with his 2 brothers and sister, but nothing at all. Very disappointed in the sheriff's office that there have been no more searches. I want my son home safe. So they're very upset that the sheriff is not helping them at this point, right? Start making a stink. Make everyone know you want your son back. So this story definitely needs some attention, for sure. Someone says, I've never heard of a missing child not being looked for after a few days. This was just yesterday that these comments were made. One organized public search by family and others. I'm not sold on the information being given. William, do you know anything about the videos he was making before his phone was found? This is interesting. What's that? He seemed really upset. Some key piece is missing. Hope he's found soon. Do we know where these videos are? Anybody have any link to that? Yeah, he's staying on the move. So I think this William Lebowski is his dad. Okay, here he posted this 34 minutes ago. Missing and endangered. James Yablonski, Reedsburg, Wisconsin. 5'11", 120 pounds. Half-inch scar on his back of his neck. Last seen June 12th at 10:30 p.m. wearing red shoes, blue jeans, unknown shirt, and unknown baseball cap. And then this, obviously a cousin, somebody says, we need your help. My little cousin has been missing for 3.5 weeks now. It's pretty long. Multiple large-scale searches in Sauk County, Wisconsin with nothing. Who's Teresa? Oh, Teresa Caputo. Okay. She's the psychic. I don't know how much help she's going to be, but, whatever. We can. Oh, look. Hi, guys. We are covering it. Thank you for posting that. I do appreciate that. Yeah, this case needs attention. I hope other creators will come on board and start following this case. A lot of times when YouTuber creators get into the cases, movement happens. I'm very glad about that. That's one of the reasons I do this, is to help try to get stuff out there. So I am definitely, thank you, Abby, more than willing to continue to talk about this case. And it's just heartbreaking, Do you remember? I remember when my kids were 13, I would have been beside myself worrying about my child at this point. And obviously, they found campgrounds and stuff. He's hopefully alive, but he could still be hurt. He could still get dehydrated. How much water does he have? He's 13. He obviously doesn't really have the capacity to be making these decisions to go live off the grid. Oh, kids, man, tell ya. So let's see. Let me go back here to what we are talking about. Let's see. Here's another article. Okay, this is the most recent article. Let's look at this one. So, this is from this week, July 6th. So let's watch this.
If you are type 2 and take metformin, well,
something else.
Check your feet and legs for these two things that I'm.
Nearly a month after 13-year-old James Yablonski went missing in the Baraboo Bluffs, local law enforcement leading the search said they're still working to rule out every possible explanation for the teen's disappearance. Roughly a week into their search, local law enforcement said they found evidence in the woods that led them to believe the 13-year-old may be trying to live off the grid as a survivalist. While Sauk County Sheriff's Office officials haven't been able to fully confirm what equipment the teen might have with him, the boy's family reported several items missing from their home, including food and wilderness survival guides.
So, yeah, that's what I said. I said, oh, that's interesting. What you're pointing out right there about the phone. Why would the phone be somewhere else? Like, did someone get a hold of him? Did someone take his phone? Obviously there's people. I know when I was up in Oregon, there's a lot of people that live off the grid in the woods that are wanted criminals. Like, they are living off the grid for that purpose, like to stay away from law enforcement. So who knows who could he ran into in the middle of this nature park or whatever. It's very scary. So nearly a month after 13-year-old James went missing in Baraboo Bluffs, local law enforcement leading the search said they're still working to rule out every possible explanation for the teen's disappearance. We're still treating this as a missing person case. Lieutenant Stephen Schramm with the Sauk County Sheriff's Office told News 3 now on Thursday. We're investigating everything that can go along with that. Yablonski reported left his home sometime overnight, June 12th into June 13th, in his family's van, which was later found along Highway 12 near Devil's Lake State Park. He has not been found since. A week into their search, local law enforcement said they found evidence in the woods that led them to believe 13-year-old may be trying to live off the grid as a survivalist. While Sauk County Sheriff's Office officials haven't been able to fully confirm what equipment teen might have with him, the boy's family reported several items missing from their home, including food and wilderness survival guides. Why does the family have wilderness survival guides? Is that something that they did? Are they interested in that, like the family? During the first week of searches, found at least 2 campsites believed to have been set up by the teen. Schramm added that Sheriff's Office has gotten several tips of possible sightings, though most of them were reported too late to be helpful for the investigation. Other tips include reports of new items located in the woods. have prompted renewed searches but have yet to lead to any significant progress. Law enforcement's main focus is ruling out other possible explanations for Yablonski's disappearance, including whether or not the teen may have gotten support from someone else. And if and when new information comes into that might help locate Yablonski, said. Sheriff's Office has personnel on standby to react. No large-scale searches were planned as of Thursday, which is day before yesterday, but that could change at a moment's notice. We're just as concerned about it as everybody else. I don't know. They're that concerned. Yeah, I'm thinking it must be a family interest, right? That they are interested in this, like, off-the-grid stuff. And then there's only been, on the Sauk County Sheriff's website, there's only been one entry, and that was on June 12th, 2023. And this is it. This is all they've done. 7:30. So this was the date he went missing. On today's date, Sauk County Sheriff's Department was contacted by the father of 13-year-old James Yablonski, stating James had taken a family vehicle. The vehicle was located approximately 8:46 a.m., so that same day, by a Sauk County deputy. A ping on James' cellular phone conducted by the Sheriff's Office with assistance from Division of Criminal Investigation led to the location currently being searched by law enforcement near US Highway 12 and the Sauk Hill. Deputies located a makeshift campsite where property belonging to James was located. Law enforcement continuing to search the area and have asked for additional law enforcement agencies to assist. For everyone's safety, please avoid the area because of heavy traffic and limited visibility. Asking the media to meet at Badger Museum for additional updates as they become available. And that was it. That was all they've done. Let's see, am I missing anything? So he's not listed still today, or the FBI website, or missingkids.org, or any of the smaller missing persons website databases. Not listed at all. That's kind of bizarre and not cool. So yeah, was the family into prepping? Like, why do they have survivalists? Was that something that they did? Were they that kind of family where they planned on, if they ever had to go live off the grid, they knew what to do? And I don't believe, I think they should be looking for him. They obviously have clues where he's at. Where is the helicopters and the infrared or the drones? Like, put that shit in there. Right? I mean, look what they did for Brian Laundrie. Look how they went in the Florida freaking swamps looking for that guy. I would expect this. I would expect the same for this child, especially this child. So what do you guys think? What do you think? Do you think that they should be looking? I think this case needs a lot of attention. I think there needs to be pressure on that law enforcement agency. Get those drones up there. Get your helicopters. Like, do what they did for Brian Laundrie. Sorry, I don't know why you wouldn't. Oh, he's 13. He's living off the grid. He's cool. It's fine. No, 2-3 weeks into it, he could be hurt. He could be dehydrating. He's not smart enough or old enough to be able to make these decisions for himself. Yeah, those heat things that detect body heat. I mean, I just keep picturing all that crap that was going on for Brian Laundrie. All the news people up there over the Everglades or wherever he was. 13 is way young. Yeah, way young. You could babysit at 13, but I don't think you can really move out and live by yourself unless you had completely been neglected in life. Wow. All right, well, we'll keep doing that one. It's nice to see that they actually shared, although we didn't get a lot of viewers, but not keeping his phone is confusing and concerning, right? That worries me quite a bit. Why doesn't he have his phone? Yeah, barely babysit. Haha. I know. When my sister was born when I was 12, and all my mom could tell everybody was, I have a built-in babysitter. I have a built-in babysitter. And they didn't really go anywhere. Like, go watch your sister. Go hold the baby while I take a shower. It wasn't really. Yeah, it's so crazy. I'm just gonna look back at your comments, you guys. I'm surprised they're not searching harder for him. I really am. And just because they don't think he got kidnapped doesn't mean he wasn't now. Doesn't mean somebody else didn't grab him, get a hold of him. You know, even if he left on his own, like kids walk down the street on their own every day, but I don't know. Very strange. I hope so. And if you're watching the replay, get the word out on this case because I think this case needs more attention. James Yablonski from Wisconsin needs attention, and law enforcement needs to get their butt back in the sky or something. It's possible this started with him wanting to live off the grid, but something could have happened at this point. Right. Absolutely. And he drives. He took the car. 13-year-olds don't drive as far as I know. Something suspicious to me. Maybe law enforcement are investigating the parents. Time will tell. Maybe. I mean, you never know. All options are on the table, right? Where did he get survival skills? From 2 books. I don't know, right? Yeah, get the word out. But sometimes there's a case that I still am trying to get the word out for, Noah McIntosh, and nobody's biting. So I don't know. Sometimes everybody just wants to be on the same bandwagon because it gets views, and nobody, it's just kind of sad because there's so many cases that need attention. So if we're doing this as creators, I think one of the big things that we need to do is get words out on cases that need the word to be out. I don't know. I haven't heard about that, but we could always go back and look in his dad's Facebook comments and stuff like that too. So yeah, like you said, it might have started out as I'm going to go live off the grid and run away for a week. And then 4 weeks into it, he's hurt. He's dead. He's got bit by a freaking whatever random animal they have there. So yes, so maddening that it doesn't have attention. That I have to check on that, Lori. Thanks for the reminder, because that should be coming to the pre-trial readiness thing this next week, I think. I'll have to double check on that later for sure. Okay, and then I know this is going really long, way longer than I wanted to, but I got stuck on these. The Kohberger case, mostly everybody's been following it. Let's see what we know. Kohberger, I'm still super curious if he's ever murdered anyone else. Like, what is his deal? I mean, he allegedly murdered those 4 kids on his own. So that's not what I want. All right. So Carrie got me some info on Kohberger. Basically, he grew up in the rural Poconos Mountains of Pennsylvania. He went to college in Lehigh Valley region. DeSales University grad, and people often describe him as awkward, regular Joe with a dead stare. He has a really weird stare, like kind of creepy, like crazy eyes. Their home, the family home, is in Albrightsville, Pennsylvania. It sits behind, it's a guarded gate community, and Indian Mountain Lake development. And he went to school in Mount Pleasant High School, about 10 minutes away. Graduated from high school in 2013. He spent years in the Lehigh Valley area studying both Northampton Community College and DeSales University. Okay. Apparently he was more of a keeper to himself. And when he was in college, he frequented a bar named Seven Sirens. He made women uncomfortable, I guess, according to wherever you got this document. I don't know where that came from. Is there witnesses? Is there people that have been interviewed that said he made them uncomfortable back then? He studied criminal minds work, which may have had a connection in, becoming a murderer, trying to learn about how criminals think. Apparently, DeSales University, this is interesting, has an entire house. They call it the crime scene house. It's used for simulations for crime scene investigation or collecting evidence or crime scene photography or other emergencies. According to the court documents, Kohberger's criminal studies were important enough for detectives to investigate. While executing a search warrant at his parents' house, investigators recovered the criminal psychology book and the DeSales docs. Thank you so much. Thank you. Pilam, I appreciate that very much. Thank you very much. Also, thank you for becoming an Afterglow member. I have now memberships on Afterglow, and you can pick the amount you want to be a member of. So I really appreciate the support on my Afterglow podcast. That is still going to keep going. It just, again, time is my issue, but I do thank you. You're my first subscriber to Afterglow. Thank you again. Let's see. Who's Christian Martinez? Kohberger saw Christian Martinez in the hallway or the apartment complex just days after the brutal crime. He brought it up. Two things Kohberger said was they have no leads and they think it was a crime of passion. So Kohberger discussed with this person. Also with Afterglow, with the memberships, I think what I could do and what I'll probably start doing is maybe a day before I drop it for everybody, just drop it for members over there. That might help me get more members and make it more lucrative. It's not really monetized. I'm getting really uncomfortable in this stupid chair. It's not really monetized. Every once in a while I get an ad put in there from another podcast, but it's pennies on the hours. So I do appreciate any support. And just to help me pay for, the software and the editing stuff. I do appreciate that. Where are we? So Christian, okay, I'm confused. Who's Christian Martinez? Carrie? A college mate? College mate from after the murders? Before? In Idaho? Here in Idaho? Okay. Later on, Christian met Kohberger's dad in the parking lot. He just stopped and started talking to me, Martinez said. His dad wanted to introduce them to each other. He said something like he has a hard time making friends or he's kind of shy. I don't know. I feel like this is out of context. I'm not sure. Trying to keep you guys. Let's see. I guess he, okay. Let me say, thank you. Martinez, who lives just across the hall from Kohberger's old apartment, says he remembers the accused killer moving to the area in summer of 22. So that he he's from Idaho. He's an apartment college person in Idaho. Okay. And he says Koeberger kept tabs on the murders, continuously bringing them up in conversation. He would say, "Oh, did you hear about these murders that happened?" And it was just after it happened. Martinez would reply with, "Yeah," and Koeberger would with the no leads line. Martinez believes he may have had a fascination with death or killing. Koeberger was on the subject of what it would take to take someone's life. He was trying to see Christian's perspective on taking someone's life. Interesting. Another person named Zach Cartwright met him at a pool party. Martinez invited him to. Cartwright noticed Brian was kind of standoffish and not very social. He thought he was kind of weird. Washington, sorry, I'm so stuck on Idaho in my head because of the murders which took place in Idaho, and it's on the border there. Thank you for clarifying that. He also noted Brian was really observant, so much that that based on that one small interaction, he knew exactly who Cartwright was a month or so later when their paths crossed on a hike. So Cartwright wanted to be interviewed by the FBI because of these interactions. He applied for an internship in the fall of 2022 with Pullman PhD. In his essay, he wrote how he had interest in assisting rural law enforcement agencies with how to better collect and analyze technological data in public safety operations. Probable cause affidavit released after Kohberger arrested revealed a knife sheath. The knife sheath with the DNA at the crime scene containing a single source of male DNA. When compared with DNA recovered from his parents' home, it provided a near perfect match. It was determined the knife was a K-bar with U.S. Marine Corps insignia on it. They also stuck out in the past. He would talk about military who was interested in Martinez's military service. When they did the search warrant at their parents' house on December 30th, they recovered multiple items from that vehicle, including hiking boots, a shovel, goggles, and a wrench. They also, I know, found more DNA. They said 2 other males. And there's one that I read that they said there's also a glove outside that they found male DNA on. But remember that? Isn't that what that one YouTube guy, not going to mention the name, found when he was out there snooping around a glove? It didn't seem like it had anything to do with it, in my opinion, but who am I? So then, so they arrested him on January 3rd. He waived extradition, was flown back to Idaho. Okay. All righty. So yeah, the Kohberger case is pretty crazy, and I believe they're going for the death penalty, right? I'm just looking at this other article here. So it's kind of frozen. These pop-up ads make me insane. This literally took me nowhere. Is it loading? We are currently not accepting comments on this article. I don't even see the article, so the article is not here. This was a Daily Mail article on this that Carrie sent me the link to, but it's not here. There's nothing here. Let's see. What else? There's another one. Here's one. Okay, we can do this one. Present. It's so hard to do these stuff live because I could edit all this out if I was recording, but then editing takes so dang long too. So it's like, What do you do? Idaho murder suspect Brian Kohberger's death penalty could cost taxpayers $1 million more than life in prison if he's convicted. Could end up costing taxpayers an additional $1 million. They are going to seek the death penalty because the killings were especially heinous. I always say that weird. Atrocious or cruel. Convicted killers on death row typically rack up significant medical bills as they await execution for decades, all the expense of taxpayers plus the cost of their eventual execution. According to the Idaho Statesman, Gerald Pizzuto, a 67-year-old death row inmate who has been on death row in Idaho since 1986, has cost taxpayers $1.3 million, largely in medical costs. So yeah, the death penalty is another political, controversial, cost money. Should we do it? Should we not? Thing. Lori Vallow got out of it. So this is more about like the cost, shortage of lethal injections. Do you think his trial? It says trial scheduled to begin in October. Do you think it's going to start in October? I'd be surprised if it did. No, but that sounds really interesting. A little surprising that the killer was able to murder 4 people in 17 minutes in the dark. Now, I've watched him go back and forth like that was a surprise attack. They were sleeping, they were drinking, that they could, but it was so weird because that other roommate saw him, and then Zana Kernodle was crying. Did he go back to her? I'm still a little bit confused about how he went boom, 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 boom. 4 people dead, gone. No one's noticed until the next day, and police were called. It's just really weird. You're right. Yeah, it seems difficult, but maybe he was in a frenzy state. He just has those eyes, like I'm gonna kill everybody. Like I don't know, freaks me out looking at his eyeballs, like his eyes. I don't know what it is. They just look evil. So his trial scheduled to begin in October, will last an estimated 6 weeks. They had not been provided with any mitigating circumstances that could be used to argue why Kohberger shouldn't be put to death. So Moscow, Kaylee, Madison, Zana, and Ethan. So sad. News Nation reported prosecutors have met with the victims' families to discuss the matter, with Kernodle's mother, Karen Northington, favoring prison for life for Kohberger. So she doesn't want him to be put to death. Her father, Jeff, on the other hand, is reportedly in favor of the death penalty for the alleged killer. Goncalves and Mogans are also in favor of the death penalty, and the Chapins have not made their position public. In late June, lawyers for Kohberger claimed DNA evidence from 2 other men was found at the scene. This is what I was talking about. The attorney said there was no connection between their client and the students fatally stabbed at the off-campus Moscow home. There's no explanation for the lack of DNA evidence from the victims in Mr. Kohberger's apartment, office, home, or vehicle, wrote his attorney. It makes me sad to see their pictures. They're happy pictures from that same time. The defense team said that a second male DNA was found inside the Moscow home, and that police allegedly found DNA from a third man on a glove discovered outside the home. So, that was when all those people were out in front of the home, and that YouTuber was there, the one that people have a lot of controversy with, and he picked up that glove. I think that's what they're talking about. Of course, the lawyers are going to run with that. K-bar knife, similar to the one. And then here's some, this is the filing. It says, the state gives this notice based on the fact that it has not identified or been provided with any mitigating circumstances sufficient to prohibit the trier's effect from considering all penalties authorized by the Idaho legislature, including the possibility of a capital sentence. Consequently, considering all evidence currently known to the state is compelled to file this notice of intent to seek the death penalty. The state will continue to review additional information as it is received and reserves the statutory right to amend or withdraw this notice. So, lab on December 17, 2022, lab analysts were aware of 2 additional males' DNA within the house where the deceased were located. The defense team said a second man's DNA was found inside the Moscow home and that police allegedly found DNA from a third man's DNA on a glove discovered outside the home. To this date, the defense is unaware of what sort of testing, if any, was conducted on the samples other than the STR DNA profiles. The filing and objection to the state's motion for the protective order argued that the defense team should have access to all the data and investigative genetic genealogy that led prosecutors to claim Kohberger's DNA collected with a buccal swab was statistical match. So they're just going to keep throwing stuff out there. Like, I mean, that's their job. Here's something we can watch real quick before we wrap up. Let me play this for you.
If I were to describe the best leader I've ever had, one, they were empathetic. They held a high sense of accountability. And also they were always driving a vision, and a vision that we could all connect to. It's really as simple as that. It's those 3 things with a foundation of trust between that leader and everybody following them. And if you hit that, you're a great leader. I've had the privilege of having a few great leaders that hit all of those things.
Marshall. Oh, cool. Thank you.
Now to the latest on the quadruple homicide that gripped the nation. Currently, Brian Kohberger stands accused of brutally killing 4 University of Idaho college students in November of 2022. This horrific crime unfolded at an off-campus home where the 4 young students were stabbed multiple times in early morning of November 13th of 2022. Kohberger has pleaded not guilty to the murders. This week, Kohberger's parents were called to testify before a grand jury. The proceedings are by nature very secretive, but also closed door. But their testimonies could be shared with investigators based on a Pennsylvania law that allows judges to release transcripts to agencies after a court hearing. Meanwhile, the families of Kaylee Gonzalez and Madison Mogan have filed notices. They plan to indicate the pursuit of legal action against the city within the next 2 years. Kaylee's father, Steve Gonzalez, seeks clarity on the state's intention to seek the death penalty.
We can't sit here and say, oh, if there was 5 victims or 6 victims or 7 victims, then you go for the death penalty. No, it's been crossed. The line's been crossed, and we're going to go there.
So emotions are running high as the trial approaches. Both the victims and the families and the greater Moscow community, they want nothing more than justice for their lost loved ones. Attorney Shannon Gray, representing the Gonzalez family, joins us to discuss. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Can you kind of provide us with an update? We know Brian Kohberger was in court this week. What is the latest?
Well, we have our motion scheduled for the non-dissemination order on June 9th. My motion is scheduled at 10:30, and then the Associated Press's motion is scheduled at 1:30 that day. I'm not sure if the judge will make a ruling that day or if the judge will take some time to make a decision on the rulings. And then we have Mr. Kohberger's trial set into October. So,
well, could you go ahead and elaborate the family's intention to seek justice beyond the criminal trial? What are their expectations? What do they want?
Well, I mean, every family, I think they want justice for the deaths of their daughter and Maddie and Xana and Ethan. So, it's part of the process. The tort claims notice that I filed is just standard procedure. That's something that has to be filed to protect the interests not only of the families, but the victims, and the community. we hope that everything went perfectly and everybody did the right things. But if for some reason something went wrong or something, someone might need to be held accountable for something, you're mandated to file those notices. So.
Well, is the death penalty for Brian Kohberger, is it still up for question in this case?
Well, we spoke with the prosecutor on the case, Mr. Thompson. He's going to meet with all the families, I think, individually, and then make a decision based on that. So the Gonzalez family obviously supports the death penalty in this case. So,
how are the families doing right now? How are they coping with the loss of their loved ones? Have they had any mental health support providing them during this difficult time?
Well, they're a strong family. I think they all have their good days and their bad days. They still have other children to raise. Kaylee had sisters and a brother, and so they're still trying to move forward with those types of things. But every day is a challenge. Some days are more emotional than others. The arraignment on Mr. Koeberger hit Christy pretty hard, and Steve had to try to be a rock on that day. And then some days Christy has to be a rock for Steve. So I prepare them moving forward on all of the things that might happen and how the timeline might play out. But they are a great family.
Yeah, it's really an awful situation. Could you also kind of share any details about the evidence against Brian Kohberger and the prosecution's strategy for the upcoming trial?
We don't have any of that information. They don't share any of that stuff with us. I think that's part of them keeping everything close to the vest. There's the idea that having no information out to the public at all in some way protects the jury pool. But we would prefer that we'd have some information shared with us, but we really don't have anything.
Okay.
So we don't know.
Shannon Gray, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you. We will be following.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click.
So, I don't know. Crazy. And that's interesting, Carrie. I didn't hear that about his sister. She believes he did it. I didn't see that. Where's that? I'll have to find that. Yeah, they do. All right. So if you're not listening to Afterglow or you never heard it, it is all up on YouTube now as well. The entire series that's been up so far, season 1 and 2, has been uploaded to, I found a way to bulk upload the whole thing without me having to do one thing at a time and fixing everything and making thumbnails and everything. They did it for me. It was an automatic thing that I was able to pay for, and it's worth it to get them all up here. So Afterglow is completely on YouTube now. Afterglow unveiling the Idaho cult. It's the whole Lori Vallow case. Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, goes all the way back into the beginning of Lori and beyond. And again, I'm trying to get it completely caught up, but there's so much to this story, and I really try to put in all the interviews and things in chronological order to fill in the holes, because when we were learning about it, it was like we heard about this, and then the bodies were found, and then we heard all these interviews from Serena and all these people, and so I try to really make it make sense chronologically of what happened when Charles was murdered, what happened after that, when Tammy, all of it in order, all the interviews, the police interviews, everything in order of how they were going down before we even knew about them. And yeah, so thank you. And if anybody else wants to hop on in and find a case and give me some outline and stuff and gets the links for me, that is so helpful. I really appreciate it. And it really does help me a lot to be able to bring stuff to you as well. So again, hit the like, subscribe. If you would like to see my travel channel, I've been making more videos, all the stuff I have before, small ones and shorts and stuff on my Greece trips. And I'm going back to Greece on September 4th through the 19th. So there will be a period of time where I will be off the YouTube grid again, but over there might be some stuff on the trip that shows up eventually. And of course, I'll be here. And the more help I have, like with this kind of stuff, the more often I can do these reviews. That was good. That was 3 cases. That was really awesome. Thank you guys for helping me. Appreciate it. All right. I think we're good. I appreciate you. Yeah, I know. It's not even 2 months away. So excited. I'm taking my son. He's 24. He's going with me. And my friend Joan is going as well. I am not going to CrimeCon because it literally is the weekend after I get back from Greece. So there's just no way. I have to come back to work. I can't go all the way to the East Coast. If it would have been here on the West Coast, I could have gone, but to have to go back to Florida, just a bummer. Not going to be there. Everything always happens at the same time. It really stinks. And yeah, so that's it. So it won't be long. I'll be going there. I'm going to flying to Athens. We're going straight to Santorini. Even though I went to Santorini last year, my son really wants to see Santorini. So we're going there for 3 nights, staying in Miravigli, which is where I recommend you stay when you go to Santorini. It's not the crowded part. It's very quiet, but it's beautiful. It's on the highest point of the caldera, and rentals and hotels and apartments and stuff are way cheaper than Ia, which is the crazy busy side of Santorini. And then we're going from there to the island of Naxos for 5 nights, and we're staying on the beach there in a hotel. And then from there, we're going to a teeny tiny island in the Lesser Cyclades in the Aegean called Koufanisi. And Koufanisi is literally 2 square miles. It's small, and it's really cool. And it has like natural pools and so I'm looking forward to that because it's different. I was trying to find things that were different, not the same, not the big touristy trap places. So we're going there, and then we are going to Athens for 3 nights. So I will share it all with you. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate you all, and thanks for showing up for my Saturday-ish, once in a while, occasional live stream. And when the weather when it gets more towards the fall and stuff, we'll be doing this a lot more often. The summers kind of feel like the summer shouldn't be busy. It should be the relaxing time, but it kind of has the opposite effect. So, oh yeah, those drone cameras are cool. Well, my son, Michael, apparently has one. He doesn't have one. His friend has one. He's like, I'm going to see if he'll let me, but people aren't going to let him take his drone over across the world and lose it over the Aegean or something. But I'm not leaving until September 4th, so I'm sure I'll be doing another live stream between now and then. Next Saturday, I have company coming, so I won't be doing a live stream next Saturday. So if anybody wants to look up any cases or follow any of those cases or give me some info, just in Discord, it makes a big difference. It's huge. And let me know and organize it for me. It's helped so much. Thank you. All right. I will talk to you all soon. Stay safe, stay well. See you in Discord. If you're in there, anybody's welcome in Discord. So if anybody needs the link, let us know. And yeah, they've been good, huh? They were good today. Very quiet. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Okay, thanks. Stay safe and well. Bye.